Today, I want to talk about a very powerful antioxidant. You see, there are a lot of people out there suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome. What is this? You're tired. Your medical reports are good. Sometimes you have low vitamin D3 and you fix that and your energy levels increase, but you're constantly fatigued. You sleep well at night, you're working out, you're doing everything, but you're constantly fatigued. This is a term called chronic fatigue syndrome. It can be caused in many different cases. Sometimes the medication you're on. A lot of people during the pandemic days who went through COVID, they took like months and months to recover. They were just tired all the time. That's because the mitochondria of their cells were affected. There was a mitochondrial dysfunction. What is mitochondria? They are the energy cells of the human body. The mitochondria are the little factories in your cells constantly making energy. So we eat food. Your body extracts nutrients from your food. We breathe in air, oxygen. Food is the raw material that reaches your cell, goes through these little factories, the mitochondria, and it's converted into ATP. Adenosine triphosphate. This is the energy currency of the human body. So if you have a cellular dysfunction or anything that's affecting your cells, let me give you an example. A patient who's going through chemotherapy. Why is that patient always fatigued? One is the side effect of the drug. Two is chemotherapy is attacking every cell of the body, the fast dividing cells, all of them, breaking down the mitochondria and the inability to produce energy. And that's why they feel fatigued and tired. Today, I want to talk about an enzyme. It's coenzyme Q10. It's also known as CoQ10. This is a naturally occurring antioxidant in all of our bodies. But as we age, it gets depleted. Sometimes we don't have to age for that. You'll have people in their 20s and even teenagers depleting CoQ10 because they don't look after their lifestyles. Their nutrition is wrong. They're on heavy medications. And this depletes CoQ10 from your cells. And that creates lesser energy in your body. So why do we need CoQ10? And we're going to talk about there are different forms of it. I don't want you to just jump in and buy supplements. While there are great supplements, there are also foods that you can use it. And there is a place for supplements, and we talk about that. Number one, your heart health. CoQ10 enzyme is excellent for your heart. It is protective for your heart, and even more for people who have an existing heart problem, people who have gone through heart disease, people who have gone through a heart attack or a cardiac arrest. CoQ10 is extremely protective for your heart, your blood vessels, and its functioning. In fact, most cardiologists will recommend that you take a CoQ10 along with the medications that you're on. But if you have not been recommended that, you can speak to your cardiologist, and in most cases, they're going to allow you to have it. I'll tell you which form you need. So one is your heart health. A lot of science and research leading towards CoQ10 also helping with a reduction in blood sugar levels, but this is honestly very minimum. So if you are a person with high blood pressure and you're already on medication and you decide to take CoQ10, you just want to make sure that your pressure doesn't dip too low. So you always want to keep your doctor in the loop about what you're taking in terms of supplements along with your blood pressure medication. I started off by saying it's a very powerful antioxidant, and it is an extremely powerful antioxidant. Why do our bodies need antioxidants? As the word says, antioxidant. If our cells are getting oxidized, what oxidizes our cells? Free radicals, estrogen in air fragrances, all of the plastics, microplastics, pesticides in food, all of this is creating inflammation. Sleep deprivation, overtraining, not having the right nutrition, the right protein to repair yourself after a workout. A lot of people work out, lift heavy weights, do high interval training workouts, and then they don't eat to replenish muscle. And that leads to oxidation or inflammation in the human body. Certain medications and drugs that create inflammation in your body will also create oxidation. What ages you? Everyone chasing anti-aging creams, anti-aging supplements, anti-aging nutraceuticals and IV therapies and all of that stuff. They're all a waste of money if you don't know how to have the right amount of antioxidants in your body. So like the word antioxidant, it's very self-explanatory. Antioxidant, it basically prevents the oxidation of free radicals that causes even metabolic diseases, from type 2 diabetes to cancers to Alzheimer's to Parkinson's. So CoQ10 is a very powerful antioxidant. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many antioxidants. You find antioxidants in different foods, green leafy vegetables, ginger, turmeric, so many different other supplements as well. But today we're talking about CoQ10 enzyme as a very, very powerful antioxidant. Then coming to energy production, like I told you, your cells need coenzyme Q10, which is CoQ10. It's an integral part for your mitochondria to produce ATP. So if you do not have the right amount or the levels of CoQ10 in your blood, in your cells, your mitochondria cannot effectively produce ATP. And let me give you another example. A lot of people after COVID, why? In COVID, you had the cytokine storm that was affecting your cells. The cytokine storms damaged your cells and your mitochondria, and it depleted CoQ10, which is why people felt fatigued for months and months, weeks and weeks after they got the virus and after they were even in remission. So that is how viruses and bacteria can also affect our energy levels. So we need CoQ10 for energy production. It's great for migraines. I love using this for my patients. Of course, for different types of migraines. Sometimes people with cluster migraines, this may work very, very moderately. But for a lot of other people with migraines and headaches, CoQ10 enzyme can actually help you reduce your migraines. The most interesting research, because, after cancer being one of my most passionate subjects, it's now Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And more research is leading towards patients who have Parkinson's and Alzheimer's being prescribed CoQ10 supplements as a neuroprotective antioxidant. If it's good for them, it's also good for people who don't have it. So if I'm eating foods which are rich in CoQ10, great. But if I already have a cognitive decline when I'm 50 or 55 or 60 and it's not yet been labeled as a Parkinson's or an Alzheimer's, I will definitely look at CoQ10 supplementation. And so, that's the use. Now let's talk about it. You can't just jump and buy any supplement. The nutraceutical market out there is mostly meant to fool people. But you've got to be smart because there are great supplements out there. So in the oxidized form, you will have ubiquinol. And then you will have ubiquinol, which is the reduced form. So you do not want to buy a supplement that says CoQ10. You want to buy a supplement that says CoQ10 ubiquinol, NOL. That is the reduced form, and it is highly bioavailable to the body, which means it absorbs very easily. If you just take a CoQ10 supplement, the bioavailability isn't good. You find some supplements that will add piperine or black pepper and say it's better absorption. No, you still want to buy a CoQ10 that has ubiquinol. That is the reduced form. The ubiquinin is the oxidized form, and then your body further breaks it down and has to break it down where we lose some of it in the process to ubiquinol. So you want to make sure, and in fact, most cardiologists would have already put you on ubiquinol. And if you're already on ubiquinol, it's great. You're already doing the right thing. It's more it's more bioavailable. Now, if I don't want to do a supplement, let's say I don't have any of the symptoms we spoke about. While the supplement is honestly harmless, but it's always good to keep your doctor in the loop and get it prescribed by a nutritionist or a functional medicine expert. What are the foods that I can find this in? All of your fatty fish, your salmon, your mackerel, your herrings, your sardines, all of these are great sources. Then if you eat organ meat, it is a fantastic, powerful source of CoQ10. One of the most powerful sources. That's if you eat organ meat. So you're talking about beef, you're talking about pork, you're talking about chicken. That's great for you if you eat organ meat. Now, let's say you're vegetarian. You get them in nuts and seeds in small quantities. Your peanuts, your sesame seeds, pistachios contain very small amounts of CoQ10. So if you're eating them on a regular basis, this should work for you. If it doesn't, then you can move to the supplement. You find it in olive oil, very good quality olive oil. You find it in grains like oats, which should of course be chemical free, and barley. Barley is a great grain, but if you're gluten intolerant, you can't have barley. That's a great source of CoQ10 as well. Leafy greens like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, the cruciferous family, as well as the dark greens like spinach, great sources of CoQ10. And when it comes to your legumes, you have your peas and all of your beans, your kidney beans, your non-GMO soybeans, all of that. Now, when it comes to supplements, of course, I can't give you the dosage, but dosages are usually between 150 to 200 to 250 to 300. Sometimes cardiologists or functional nutritionists may even put you on 400 depending on your heart condition. But it's always good to decide your dosage with professional inputs. So this is the importance. So many people go through life with chronic fatigue syndrome. They're doing scan after scan, test after test, and that's where nutrition and science comes in. Sometimes we got to give our cells what they need to create the right amount of energy. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep. And remember, you care is all about you.